Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-game show for the game between the Pies and the Dockers in what can only be considered decent conditions when you are in Melbourne throughout the winter. It's time for all things black and white. Welcome all. Happy Sunday. Feels like a good day. Feels like a good day, but another important day in the quest for 17, as Stephanos suggests in the chat. Yasu Collingwood Nest. Yasu Bevia. Stephanos, welcome. Benny Zero, my man, welcome. Nicole, good to see you. And Howard Ross, 1500, welcome to Champi, my friend. I appreciate the support, my brother. Go Pies. How are we all feeling? What is the mood today? What are we hoping for from this game? I like to ask in the pre-game show, I do like to ask, if there's 3 things you can take away from today's game, what would you want them to be? They cannot be an injury. They can't be injury-free. That can't be one. It can't be a win. I'll exclude those 2. Beyond that, give me something. Be creative. What do you want? 3 things from the game. Can't be wins, can't be injury-free. Although they are number 1 and number 2 on the priority list. What's 3, 4, and 5? Cooper, how are you? Juzza, welcome. Let's have a look at the ladder because a few games have gone under the bridge this weekend. Hawthorn are right there now. Obviously, they've played their game this weekend. They're right there. GWS they're on a crazy surge. They are the form team in the comp. They've won. They beat Essendon. Let's see what the opposition is like. They beat the Cats. They beat the Eagles. They beat the Suns. They beat Brisbane. They are coming. And if there's ever been a bogey side for the Pies in recent times, it's probably GWS. So there's that. That is brewing in the background. And there is GWS pushing for top 4. This has to be a win. Winning this game, will steer us away from this team. Well, they've got Gold Coast today, which would be an absolute cracker. But it will steer us away from these teams here. Gold Coast game in hand. So that Gold Coast Adelaide game, huge. And I'm pretty sure Gold Coast won. Was it in Gold Coast or Adelaide early in the year? It's pretty simple. Got to win. And make things difficult for Freo. And invite Western Bulldogs and Freo to take... and Western Bulldogs and Sydney to take this spot here. Let's see what you guys are hoping for. Stephanos says our defense is elite. Want Bo to kick a mean goal on the run. I can level with you. I'd like to see Bo bursting out of centre bounce and kicking from 50 and clearing the fans. More Josh Dacos in the middle. I think that would be nice to see. I'm hoping we see that. With Dan Houston out, it does affect the probability and likelihood and the amount of time we might see Josh Dacos in the middle. Against a side like Freo, who are extremely dominant in the middle. Let's have a look at their numbers while we're here, why don't we? We'll go we'll go totals. Okay, so firstly, total clearances. Oh, what on earth? Okay, Freo actually aren't much of a clearance side. Okay, I didn't recognize that. All right, but we're no better. What about contest? Why did I have myself thinking Freo were an extremely dominant midfield side? Look, as we always say, these numbers in the middle aren't as highly rated as they are in the past because the game has turned into transition and turnover. I didn't notice that, eh? Okay, fair. What else do we want to look at here? So what about what's their score sources these days? They don't score much from turnover either. From stoppages. We actually score more from stoppages than the Dockers. They must be doing all right from turnover then, no? Okay. See, they're not a high-scoring side, so maybe it would make more sense to look at the differential between opposition. That would give us more of a picture. Okay, so we're actually in the positive when it comes. It's funny because we're not a great stoppage side from numbers, but we're very efficient. So we do convert from stoppages more than most teams. Turnover? Number 1 team for turnover, the Pies this year. And Freo not too bad when it comes to turnover themselves. Defensive half, they're right there with us in differential. Forward half, that's just been our linchpin all season, just being able to lock teams in their forward half, and Freo haven't been able to convert so much. So centre bounce, we do quite well in differential there, nearly a top 4 side, all things considering. Was pumped to watch the VFL first, and everyone's review popped up. Nuffy, I missed it. Then everyone's... What? Sorry, what are you saying, Benny? I don't understand. You want to see a lot of pressure from the Pies? I think we'll get that, Nest. I think we'll get that. Nick kicks 3 with 40 disposals. Elandoni. Backs to stand up, says Cooper. It's a big game. Big game for Charlie Dean. Big game for Darcy Moore, Bruzzy, all the lads. I want to see the Pies annoyed for last week and take it out on Freo. I'd love to see that. Big game for Long after some okay games. I'm with you. I still think he's finals bound, but just if you guys have seen my video, I just wanted to open up the dialogue. Where do we see Ned Long at the moment? I think most of us unanimously think it's his spot to lose, isn't it? But he does need to have a couple more better games or add to what he learnt from that Gold Coast game. A lot of learnings. Break-even clearances, efficiency back on track after last week. Faster ball use. Manoli, you keep confusing me with your name changes and multiple accounts. I'll try my best to remember. Manoli from the Collingwood Nest. I'll remember that. Stuart, how you going? Stuart, I'll be going to the game. I'll be there. First time in a while. Hey, mate, how are you feeling about today's game? I'm pretty optimistic. Always optimistic. Most of my life, there hasn't been many games going in where I don't think we're a chance. Most games I go into, I think we are a chance. Freo might get stage fright. It's a big... They're on the main stage today against the side that is going to be there in the pointy end of final series, hopefully. So it's a big test for them themselves. Mason backs up another great game. Number 1, best forward line number 2, and winner clearance number 3, says Stephanos. Big opportunity for Mason Cox. As long as you're in the side, you are a chance to stay in the side. So all he needs to do is just put his best foot forward today, take a few contested marks. Maybe a couple goals would be nice for Mason Cox. Oh, you thought the VFL was today. No, silly. What's happening with Howie, says Jazza. He's just nursing a groin at the moment. Should be a couple weeks. I want to see the Woods roll Freo in a spiff today. Yeah, mate, it's all good, Manoli. Hopefully see you there too, Stewie. Hopefully see you there, mate. I'll be heading in at about 1 o'clock. We're a big chance they're coming to our house. Nicholas, welcome. Personally, I think this is a career-defining game for Charlie. It certainly is, mate. You could not understate that, how big of a game this is for Charlie Dean and the rest of what his career looks like, whether that will be at AFL level or VFL level, or if he decides to go local and make the big coin, then we'll see. But that's where he stands right now. That's where he stands, my friend. Any predictions? Any player predictions as such? Do we think... Is someone going to explode today? What do you think about Josh Dacos? Quiet doggies. Goodness. You're going crazy over there. Anyone in Discord that wants to have a chat? Let's have a look. Anyone want to jump in Discord and have a yarn? Discord. Let me know if anyone wants to jump in Discord, have a chat. We can do that. Any layouts? Are we all good? We're all good at the moment, Bazza, for the time being. Should be sweet. Hello to Manny Boys. He's been a busy man lately. At 12 o'clock, there is, guys, if you're at home, the Vic Metro versus Vic Country game is on. You'll see Zach McCarthy and McGuan. I don't think Jai Saxena is not in the team for this one. So, yeah, we'll get 2 looks at players that will play for Collingwood next year. So, if you want a little bit of a side interest for the day, there's that as well. Hopefully a comfortable win, 25 to 30 points. Would be nice. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Raya, Manny. Oh, tell you what, I'm knackered. I had soccer yesterday, an hour and a half away. And it was the ultimate, you know what it was? It was West Coast 2025 versus Collingwood 2011. So went to Healesville, which is like an hour and a half away from where I live. Our side had half our side out. We're bottom of the ladder. We've only won 1 game all year. We played against the top side who have not lost a game all year, and we won 1-0. So there's my story for the weekend, and I'm rooted, cramping late in the game, tough. Leaving around 12 for the trip in, brilliant. Nicole, welcome. Elliot to kick 4, love that. Listening while driving. Are you going to the game? Oscar Steen has to be closer to a debut. Yeah, I'm not sure if it will come this year, Stefanos, but he's doing everything in his power to get his name in the conversation. But right now, the reality is DC is our main guy, and then Mason Cox is ahead of him in the pecking order right now. That's your area, Stewie. Lilydale, mate. Never been there before, surprisingly, and certainly never been to Healesville. So it was a long drive. Let's just leave it at that. But where the ground was, very scenic. Like the soccer ground was there, and then all around you were just mountains. It was actually quite breathtaking. I will admit that. Very scenic in Healesville. It's Yarra Valley. Yarra Valley, isn't it? Not going to the game today. Family coming over to watch the game. Hey, that's equally the best thing. Watching footy with the fam. If I'm not at the game, that's exactly what I'm doing. So no less of an experience when you're with your family at home watching the Pies. You were a 307. 307s. Is that the postcode for Lilydale? Growing up? VFL yesterday. As most of you, maybe some of you have seen the review that I posted like maybe an hour and a half ago, but with a limited side as far as AFL stocks were concerned, we beat Geelong away from home, cold, wet, underdogs. You got players like Oscar Steen, Di Mattia, Brady Gray, all just stepping up and doing a job. And Rowan Steele, 4 goals. So, over to you, Ed Allen. Over to you, everyone else. It's just so competitive for spots, and those players like Di Mattia and Rowan Steele just keep pressing. I noticed we only had 7 AFL listed players after Will Hayes dropped out. Those players, majority of them were mid-season recruits. Ash Johnson, Noah Howes. Who else? Oscar Steen. Who else was there? I forget. I always forget off the top of my head. Anyways, you look at the list that played yesterday in the VFL. Those AFL listed players, Rowan Steele, those AFL listed players are mainly from the mid-season draft. Dad lives in Healesville. Spent half my weekends as a kid up there, stuffing around in bush, mate. It's like I said, it's got its pros and cons. It's very, very far from what I'm accustomed to in the southeast, being close to the city. But I can see the incline for people to do their thing there. Farming, a lot of farming, wineries, if I'm not mistaken. Northcote, that's right. Hillsville's beautiful. I have a holiday house there. Brilliant, Baz. What do you got in Hillsville? What do you guys actually do there? It's pretty. It's low key. I can see that. But what do you guys tend to do there? Ella Andreas, Sun's footy this morning got BOG again and snagged 2. One of the dads said he played like Dad Degoe. Proud dad moment. Should have said he played like Andreas. Prime Andreas. Nah, good stuff, mate. How old your little boy? Is he playing in the EDFL? Go motorbike riding in Hillsville. I've never been. I've actually never been motorbike riding. Period. Let alone Hillsville. Who's nervous? There's always an element of nerve, which is healthy. Levi, wanted to go to the game, but my dog got mate. Condolences. That's always tough. I always say losing a dog is just like losing a human being. You don't differentiate the two when you have a pet dog or a pet cat or whatever it may be. So sending my love, mate, and hopefully the pies get up for your dog. Heidelberg United was black and white, inspired by Alexandros. Love Rowan still in a couple games. He had so good as good as Allen has been. I think still takes his spot. Over to you, Ed Allen, today. You've got to show us again why you are in the side. I've been saying the thing with Ed Allen. His point of difference is his height, his running capacity. Rowan's a good runner as well. I think over time, Ed Allen will become this aerial winger and has the ability to go inside mid. He plays mid in the VFL, but no space for him in the AFL, and he's not quite ready. Needs to work on his disposal. Rowan's kicking efficiency and his vision is first class. So if Ed isn't giving us something, I think, Rowan's right there still. The Collingwood Nest, did you also get your education at Northcote Tech like me? How long do you think Howes will take to develop into a key forward with Charlie West? You normally give them 3 to 5 years, don't you? That's usually their apprenticeship before they truly hit their straps. He's 8, plays for South Morang. Beautiful. Is South Morang EDFL? The pub is good there. Great Palmer, but we do farming up there most of the time. It's funny, in another lifetime, I could see myself becoming well acquainted with the farm life. Sometimes when you live in this little Melbourne bubble in a city, you do get pretty destimulized, if that's the word, to just everything because there's so much technology. You get stuck. Like you feel like you're just in this, like I said, this little bubble of tech, and it's just a rat race. Whereas I think the benefits of living or being a farmer is you've always got something to do and you've got responsibilities that need attention from very early in the morning to late in the evening. I think the farmer's life can offer more fulfillment if you're not careful as a Melburnian. As a Melburnian, it's very easy to get stuck in a rut just because of the convenience. Nothing's easy as a farmer. And as hard as it is, I could only imagine how fulfilling it is at the same time. Yasure Yani, let's go Pies. Can't wait. Peter G, what a beautiful day for footy at the G. Can't wait, mate. Drop Allen, says Judd. Come on, give him a chance. Let him play today. Let him have his say. Our competition for spots is insane, mate. It's so deep, Luke. It's what you need. You want a good VFL side complementing a good AFL side and vice versa. Yanni, come on, guys. Don't forget to like it. Make sure, support the channel. Leave a like. I see Ed Allen as the next Crispy in the future. Yeah, well, Crisp was largely unheralded early in his career. What's the ceiling? I think Crispy's had a bloody good career. So if he's anything like Jack Crisp, we've found another diamond in the rough. Up in the Blue Mountains, enjoy. So where is, excuse my ignorance, so where is the Blue Mountains, Manoli? Drop Will Hos, come on, Juddy. Juddy's come in and he's just dropping hyperboles. Drop Hoskin Elliott, drop Ed Allen. Come on, mate. If Charlie Dean doesn't perform well, I believe we'll have to delist him. We need that Charlie Dean from Williamstown. That's where Charlie Dean is right now. I think he knows that. It'll be a very nerve-wracking game for him, indeed. Do you think we do anything about Sarong and Brayshaw or just let them do their thing? I think without tagging them, there's always a strong oppositional analysis that the team would conduct on a week-to-week basis. So they know they'll review centre bounces. They'll review their running patterns. Like that's, regardless of whether they get tagged or not, that always happens for every side. You need to know your opposition's tendencies. Do they like running to the right side of the stoppage? Do they go through screens? Do they try run out the front? Where are their tap zones? Like these are the things that Scott Pendlebury is all over in particular. He loves watching. I remember watching a video last year where Collingwood would follow him pre-game, 24 hours leading into match day, and one of the things he spoke about was how he will watch centre bounces of his opposition and see what their tendencies are. So just using this to nullify what their strengths are in the middle. Players are playing for a spot in the 23 for September, certainly. Hope they win, says Roger. Is Rowan Steele the side bottom replacement? Maybe not like for like. I think they're still different players. I think still side. You certainly can't put Rowan in the same breath as Steele side bottom when it comes to ability. Like side bottom is going to be a future Hall of Famer for sure. Will he replace Steele side bottom in the wing position as a winger, nominally as a winger? Sure. How many points will the Pies win by? No idea, man. Just get the win. Fareed says, I see Long going to Sarong. Probably see that matchup. Maybe a lot of Nick Dacos and Sarong as well. Do we really have anyone on our team who's a good tagger? Haven't needed it, have we, Baz? True. It's 1.5 hour drive from Sydney, 3,336 feet above sea level. That's high altitude, isn't it? So compared to Denver, Colorado, or just Denver in general, how many feet above sea level is Denver? I'm curious. Big Man says, will Nick get much midfield time or play forward knowing that they probably tag him? The beauty of Nick Dacos is he can play in all 3/3 of the field. So if they try restrict him to the forward line, good luck with that. If they try restrict him to the back line, also good luck with that. And if they let him roam free in the midfield, game over. Roger says drop West. I can't wait for Harvey Harrison to come back, says Callum. Mate, he's definitely taken a longer route in recovery from the ACL, and he's on a long-term injury list, so we'll see him again next year. But when he played last year, showed some good signs. Anyone watch the Howe interview? Cannot believe we've not re-signed him for at least 12 months. He'll re-sign, for sure. He's not going anywhere. Long needs to get back to winning the ball himself instead of stopping someone else. Well, with Tom Mitchell back out of the side, I think that will change the look that Ned Long gets today. 2 Bob millionaires, says MD. Long to Brayshaw, he can't keep up with Sarong in transition. I feel like Ned Long is pretty good with his two-way running, which is probably what keeps him in the side. One of the things that keeps him in the side compared to a Tom Mitchell. Best thing about Free is they play and build up offense extremely slow, slowest in the comp, which allows the defense to be set up. Just got to hope Dannon can lock up a miss of us. Look, that's true, but could they shift in mentality and increase their play-ons from marks, increase their handball receives? What are they like with their handball receives and all that sort of stuff? I wish this I do wish this website told us about speed of movement. But they don't have a lot of things that we can reference, but not speed of movement. Handball receives. Will that give us anything? Possessions, disposals. It's handball receive? Yeah. Okay, so they don't mind a cheeky little handball receive. Do they have differential in handball receives? That would give us a better idea. Yeah, they do. Fremantle typically do have a lot of handball receives in movement. Collingwood, as we know, a lot of mark play on long down the line, so we don't see this as much. Whereas I want to guess in 2023, let's find out, what our 2023 handball receive differential is or was compared to this year, because it's clearly a different game style. We were, a bit of a different makeup. Certainly more handball receives in 2023 compared to 2025, where we are today. But yeah, there's no speed. Is there? So we go, what about chain to score? Collingwood number 3. Freo not so much. What about defensive half to forward 50? Do they get it in there? Average. What about deep? Also just above AFL average. We haven't needed a tagger, but do we have one that we could in case we need it? I think Ned Long can play a tagging role. Are you worried about Nakos on the defensive end? I thought he let us down a bit. So the thing is with players, especially your superstars, sometimes your team is going to have to compensate for their deficiencies. Of course, Nick Dacos defensively, at his size and just the way he plays his game in the front half, there's going to be compensation needed. Perfect example, look at Dustin Martin and Kane Lambert, was it, or McIntosh, or both of them in that dynasty period for Tigers. Dusty wouldn't defend, but you compensate. I don't think Fly will tag, to be honest. I think they will let them run free head to head. If things need to change, then things will change. Six 1,600 meters above sea level, Mile City. Go Nuggets. Don't mind a bit of NBA myself, Reedy. I do like watching the tag team in Jokic and Murray. I do like that. I saw Michael Porter Jr. is no longer at the Nuggets. Do you think Tom DeConing will leave? No idea, man. Could care less. Could care less about what Tom DeConing does. Big man, I love Long, but lately he's been mediocre, averaging less than 15 touches, not hitting the same as he did. We're all weary of that. Let's see how he goes today, and we can go from there. Sinex is scared Tracy's going to kick 6. Has he even kicked 6 in his career? Let's find out. Can't see him kicking 6. Like that's a wild fear. So in his whole career, he's kicked 6 once in round 5 against Richmond. So he's a great player and offers more than just goals. So the fear should reserve somewhere else, not in the fact that, not in the worry that he might kick 6. Charlie Dean make or break moment. Yes, it is, Juddy. It is. We've got to be better at stoppage than last week. Everything changed when Josh Dacos went in there, that's for sure. Going to be good to have Bo's pressure back, and hopefully he has a run in the middle before he got injured, as he was killing it in the mid. There's the thing, Bo was training well, he trains with the midfield at times. So the question is, do we throw him back in there fresh off a hamstring? I think we will. If he's healthy and fit, then I think he plays there. Callum, at this point in time, Tony, do you see the Pies collecting all NGA father-sons in the draft? Also worth noting, if we're looking for a key defender, I'd be grabbing Glover from our VFL next year. I'll start with Glover because that'll be a quick one. I think Glover is a great VFL player. I think he's quite undersized as a key player. Could I see him playing as a third or fourth string defender, I could, but I think we just got a lot of players in that department right now. I see Quaynor in that same category. Houston can play, and when I talk about third or fourth string, I mean like third or fourth string when it comes to defensive prowess. I think Houston offers that. I think Maynard, Quaynor, you got, to a lesser extent, Jacob Ryan, TJ, Charlie Dean at the moment. I think Glover looks good at VFL level. Maybe there's a reason at his age, what is he, 26, 27, perhaps? I don't know if he will play AFL level. And regarding NJ and father sons, I think we'll get him. I think we'll get all of them. Even if we have to go into a draft deficit, which is, an analogy is just using a credit card for the present and paying for the present and costing you future points. That's what will happen with our NGA/father sons. If hopefully Zach McCarthy doesn't have a massive game today, because he's a game away from, in my opinion, a game away from being top 15 versus top 30. Huge game today. We need to bounce back and get the win, says RJ. I'm with you, mate. Roger says Mason Cox will leave next year. Well, he has indicated he wants to play on. So if it's not at Collingwood, I think he definitely, teams will consider him elsewhere. The question is, does he want to play anywhere else? Lots of comments, goodness. I'm trying to keep up. Sidey came back in to form last year by tagging. That is true, Rick. I do now remember that. So Sidey has tagged before. Tagged LDU, I think it was, and Errol Goulden as well. There's two players coming with a bullet, Steele and Cochrane. Steele for the remainder of the year. There you go, Joel Cochrane as well, before Sam Glover, in my opinion. Especially the potential of Joel Cochrane. I'd rather bleed him in than a Sam Glover who's not the same age as a younger Joel Cochrane. Tony, welcome, mate. Good to see your head in here. If Dean surpasses the pressure that he will have for starting the game, we will see a great performance. It is his last chance, says Yanni. Yeah, we're all there, mate. Wishing him the best. Just got to have a good game today, and that's all he can. That's all he can do. Harry Perriman also before Sam Glover. I'm just seeing these names pop up, and I'm going to bring them up regarding the Sam Glover conversation. I wouldn't mind trying Pez in the middle at some stage. I don't think Perryman offers enough class in the midfield. And if you want a rugged player in there, you've got Ned Long already. So I just don't see the need for Perryman there right now. He ain't kicking 6 against the Pies. Can't wait, Tony. Can't wait, Benny. The defense will need to be on their A game today to contain Freo's tall forwards plus Bolton. Yeah, we're going to be stretched. That's for sure. You can't believe they put Josh Dacos in halfback. I think that's the right decision, given Dan Houston's absence, and see how the game plays out. I'm not overly fussed if Josh Dacos plays midfield or not this week. It's a different looking ball game with the team we're going in with at the moment. Will Demetrier get a game against Richmond, says Liam? Every chance, man. Every chance. If there's a game where he's going to get an opportunity this year, it would be against Richmond. Pye should be going hard for Lee Kalia, says Mella. I just don't know if he's on our radar. Or more importantly, I don't think that's his destination that he wants to arrive at, I think. How long have we got Houston signed on for? 4 or 5 years, guys? 4 or 5 years, is it? Giants have a bit of a squeeze for cap space. Well, when you got Cadman, man, yeah, they've Finn Callahan, Tom Green, Cadman, Hogan, Sam Taylor, Buckley is another great player. Whitfield, Josh Kelly. They've got players that they need to pay. I don't know what their contract status is for all of them at the moment. Rick says, Glover said a few years ago he wasn't interested in playing AFL, only wants to play VFL due to outside interest. There you go. It was a 6-year deal. There you go. Thanks, Mello. They were short. McCarthy will definitely go top 20. Other clubs are already talking about him. Yeah, well, let's, like I said, hopefully with the Vic Metro game set to take place in 10 minutes, hopefully he doesn't play super well. Where will Hoskin Elliott play? I think Hoskin Elliott has to play in the back line. What do you guys think? I think it's a no-brainer with the team we're going out with today. I think Hoskin Elliott just has to play in the back. Could we put Bo back on Bolton possibly? Nah, I wouldn't do that, Baz. He's done no training as a backman. If we do struggle in the middle and Nick gets tagged, I can see them swapping to Dacos boys. Would Brayshaw or Sarong play on Nick Dacos? It's neither here or there, I think, in my opinion. System trumps all. Any updates on DC's contract negotiations? Nah, that's sort of gone silent, but I think we have bigger fish to fry right now, don't we? As far as the finals are concerned, let's get that one over and done with first. Deep forward, you reckon, Fareed? Tony says Collingwood too old, too slow, too tired, too many injuries. Frere will smash the collie wobbles. Thanks, mate. Appreciate your input here. Tony, are you subscribed, brother? Callum, Antonio, do you know if it's possible to stream the Vic Metro game? Yeah, you can. If you go to the AFL website, you can click on the fixtures and select the National Championship category. Click on the Vic Metro Vic Country game, and you should be able to watch it. I can't stream it. I can't stream it to you guys. I would get copyright. Plus, I'm not doing a watch along. Leakley has already chosen St Kilda as his destination. Must win. Richmond showed something last night. Won't be easy next week. Just another game we're going to have to focus on after this one. Another team that's just, they're going to have a crack. Cox won't play for Pies next year. I think he will go to the Blues. Nah. All respect lost for Mason Cox if he goes to the Blues. That's for sure. Well, you're not too old, Tony. Come on, mate. Get with it. Tony's the community troll of this channel. We always need a few Franks here and there. He's a Frank. In my world, Frank's another, it's a kind of word for people who we think are spuds. Yanni, do you think that Bobby Hill will get traded at the end of the season due to his family issues? We are hearing that it could be a family issue, but I'm just not going to entertain that conversation. I think Bobby will remain at Collingwood. I would like to think. But I just don't know. We don't know, do we? We don't know what's going on. Like, we can all speculate. And I know what the rumor is, but I'm just not willing to dive into that conversation. You know what I mean? Ask Tony how Geelong went last week. Tony, by the way, guys, full disclosure, Tony Sivilich in the chat is a Geelong supporter. Frank female Karens. Frank. Tony. What else have we got, guys? You got anything else for me? Just get the job done. As per usual. Who have Geelong? They got St Kilda today at GMHBA. That'll be an interesting matchup. Who did they lose to last week, Geelong? They had a disappointing performance against GWS. That's right. I felt like they were well beaten against GWS. Uncle Tony, give us your crowd predictions. I'd say, is 65 fair? 65, 70 would be amazing. Am I far off it there? Chris, welcome, mate. I think and I hope we win, mate. Manny, nervous, huh? You're never nervous, mate. Come on. Tim, sub Ed. Yeah, Ed or I think we need Markov with his, surprisingly, I'm going to say, with his ball use has been pretty decent this year. I think we need that in the absence of Dan Houston. 64, says Peter G. 65 would be massive. Yeah. Look, no Pendlebury Collingwood side has been better over the last few years, but that half without Pendlebury last week reminded me of the times where Collingwood just couldn't win without Pendlebury, or it felt like we were at a massive disadvantage when Pendlebury wasn't playing. 72, you reckon, Peter? Okay. It's a walk in the park for the Pies today, says Stefanos. Guys, once again, I am seeing messages automatically being retracted from the chat. I have no control over that. I don't know why that happens. I don't know how to fix it. So don't think I'm hiding your comments. I will never, unless you're being an absolute idiot, I will not remove your comments. Big game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get ready for the game. And hopefully we come back to the post-game show with a win. And as always, go Pies.